Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm going to go over a few things today. We're going to be watching the H3H3 podcast with Keffals, and we're going to kind of go over the highlights from it. I don't want to watch the whole thing. I know it's very, very long, and just knowing how slow it could be, I'm probably going to put it at 2 times, maybe a little less. We'll see how it starts, but I can only imagine it's going to be like, welcome guys, let's go. Take a walk with me as we explore. No. Okay. So we're probably going to speed it up a little bit. I don't know if I can handle how slow it'll possibly be otherwise. But other than that, let's see what Keffals has to say. I mean, she's put herself in quite the situation, to say the least. Anyway, let's go.
Welcome. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Hey, it's nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet
too.
you. How's it going?
I never thought that the first time that I went to the United Kingdom, because I'm in Northern Ireland right now, would be the week that the Queen dies, but God, it's been interesting.
So are you there now or did you return home?
I'm still in Northern Ireland.
Yeah. And do people know where you're living now or are you able to keep that a secret?
No, I can't. But like I've been swatted multiple times while I've been here already.
Oh my
but
God.
there was all swatting attempts. The cops never pulled a gun on me, unlike what happened in Canada. But it's happened so many times now that the cops don't even take the call seriously.
Who's scarier? Are the Irish police cool about that stuff? Because like in America, they go crazy. Like the first time we got swatted, there was like 20 police cars. There's a fucking helicopter. They cased the whole house with their guns drawn. It was pretty nuts. Like, are the Irish police cooler about it?
Oh yeah, no, like someone called in saying that there was a stabbing in the apartment I'm in, and they just sent 2 police officers and they were knocking at the door. Like compared to what happened in Canada when I got like an assault rifle pointed at me, that's nothing. Cops are playing with a cat here.
That's interesting that the Canadians are also so militarized, the police there. I didn't realize.
Oh my God, this whole thing has been insane. Like the last month and a half.
So to walk me through, I want to take it kind of from the top. Like,
She is so happy to be on this podcast. Happier than anyone I've seen on it. Granted, I haven't seen many because I do not watch him. It's just a little bit painful to watch this guy. He literally like 5 years ago looked like he was his age, and he now literally looks like fucking 55 years old. It's like actually crazy how quickly this guy is aging. He needs to seriously take care of himself for the amount of money and free time he actually has. He literally does nothing to better himself. And it's a sad existence. This is what luck will do to you. This is the equivalent of the lottery. And I know he used to put in a lot of work, but it feels like he's lost all sense of himself. But this isn't supposed to be about him. Let's take it back over to Keffals.
how did you initially get into this? I don't want to call it a beef because it's like that kind of downplays what it is, but into the spat with Kiwi Farms.
So they started a thread on me on March 25th. And like, you know how that goes. They started off, they doxed my mother, they doxed me, they started doxing other members of my family. They doxed like 8 of my Twitch mods.
Wow.
And but after that, it was just harassment for months up until August 5th when someone impersonated me in an email and sent it to every local politician saying, I have an illegal firearm and I'm gonna go kill every cisgender person I see at City Hall. So yeah, I wake up and the SWAT team arrests me. They take me into custody and get a search warrant. They take all my computers, my phones, everything. So at that point, it's like,
Oh, you guys like watching Ethan? Just watch him as he's like listening to this. I swear he's like, he could potentially be on drugs or something. Like he just probably taken way too much Xanax or something. Barely even here. Man's like 1 foot in the grave, it looks like. It's fucking wild.
I stream for a living and they just took my way of earning a living away. So I decided that I would go to the media, I would talk about it. And
That's incredible how much damage they did. I've heard of swatting, but actually getting you arrested, getting the warrant and confiscated, that's pretty next level. It's just surprised you that this website is like, where's the legal and illegal, where's that line? Where they're actually doing illegal things. So how's the website allowed to stay up? Are you familiar with the legality of that?
only vaguely, because it's all American law and I'm unfortunately Canadian. As far as I understand, it's section 230. So the owner of the website isn't responsible for the actions of the users.
Yeah, even if they're doing illegal stuff. It seems to,
the whole
it's
purpose
pretty dumb.
of the website is to allow for those things to happen. It's weird.
well, especially because the owner seems to be engaging in it or specifically allowing it. So, golly, there's got to be some legal, I hope there's some legal repercussions for him.
Obviously, Kiwi Farms did not do the best job at keeping this together. I know they took it way further than they needed to take it, making actual threats regarding weapons and other things to somebody. You're taking it a little too far at that point. It's just absolutely wild. They thought they could take it this far with like 0 to little repercussions, and essentially the website's dead at this point, which the direction it was going is probably for the best now. That's probably for the best. Anyway, let's keep going.
So what happened after you got basically a warrant and all of your stuff confiscated? You went to the prison, or you got held in some kind of jail?
Oh, yeah, I just got held.
I know this is 2 times, but like I literally can't watch him. So even if I slow it down, it's like the sound effects I want to make with this is so when you're taken to the prison, like bro, it looks like you're on like uppers and downers simultaneously, like just straight speedballing. I don't even know what to think. It's just wild. I'm gonna try to listen without actually, because it's just too much.
Held in a holding cell for like 11 hours, and then they released me with no charges, but they wouldn't give me my stuff back.
Really?
And the attorney that was representing me said that the process of going through digital forensics could take months.
Oh my god.
So I was really freaked out. I eventually got my stuff back in like 3 days and got an apology from the chief of police.
That's nice.
So yeah, that was really nice. Not nice how they responded to the situation, but I'll take it.
When you decided to go and talk to the media about it, how do you get that done? Like, who would actually listen?
It actually went pretty big. Like it started with like the local press, and then it made its way to like provincial and then national press in Canada. But then it just kind of kept going because like I knew by coming forward with that meant I had to confirm where I lived. So I left. I didn't want that to happen again. That was terrifying. So I went to a hotel, and yeah, Ethan already brought up what happened at the hotel. Brought my cat there, and they found out the bed sheets. They started ordering pizzas at the hotel in my dead name just to let me know they know where I am.
God.
And that's gotta make you feel.
So I don't follow the Keffals story too much, but from what she said there, she had to leave her home so she wasn't found again. And they found her from the bed sheets. So she's taking pictures, is what I would have to assume at that point. And if she is taking pictures, she doesn't want to be found. Stop taking fucking pictures, bro. Like most of the situations that we know where serious things have happened, like Pop Smoke, for example. Pop Smoke posted a picture, and because people could figure out where he was, that's how he ended up getting killed. Like, if you don't want to be found, don't post pictures of the areas you're in. Don't post pictures of any of the stuff. People can figure this out. There are people that live in these areas. It's not like you're on the fucking moon. Like, come on. Like, get your head out of your ass. If you're really not trying to be found, then you're not going to do these stupid things to allow yourself to be found. I can't say that she's intentionally doing it, but it's either you're intentionally posting these pictures to continue to fuel the flames, or you're a complete fucking idiot and you're just doing it because you're stupid and you just want this to keep happening in some way or another, and you're oblivious to the fact that that's the reason. I don't know. The idiocy of it is just wild. All right, let's keep going. I've heard this is pretty good, but so far, I'm just having a hard time watching Ethan just go through whatever experience he's going through with the drugs he takes.
Unsafe, right? When they're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, you know, I'm a pretty visible trans person online. I'm used to people saying mean things to me all the time. But when it escalates to the point where they're trying to let me know they know where I am and they're willing to weaponize the police, that's when it gets actually scary.
Yeah, I mean, well, we kept getting spotted at our house when we moved. We were scared as shit. So
Yeah.
I know.
I actually didn't hear any of the things that she just said at all. Holy fuck. Just watch Ethan during this whole fucking exchange in between where she starts talking. Dude, he blinks one eye. Well, dude, he reminds me of a dog, like a French bulldog or something. It's just fucking too much, bro. I'm about to start fucking dying over here. Holy shit. Man, this man is disconnected from all things reality.
You know, I'm a pretty visible trans person online. I'm used to people saying mean things to me all the time. But when it escalates to the point where they're trying to let me know they know where I am and they're willing to weaponize the police, that's when it gets actually scary.
Yeah, I mean, well, we kept getting spotted at our house when we moved. We were scared as shit. So
Yeah.
I know that feeling, and I think it's obviously way more intense for you.
Yeah.
So you went to prison. You came back. You got your stuff back. So what kind of happened from there? You're back in your house. You got computers. Do you go streaming? Do you go to a hotel? What happened in the aftermath?
Okay, so like after I got it, I didn't get my stuff back. Like I spent the next several days thinking, all right, like how do I tell the story in order to get people to listen? And so I just like kind of spent days thinking, like, how do I do this? And I got something together. I got together with like some of my friends, and we were able to start a campaign around that to pressure the police basically to give me my stuff back, because I was still a suspect, even though I was the victim of a hate crime in that situation. Like someone's impersonating me. And in the email, they specifically made sure to include my dead name, so the police would also start calling me by my dead name. Like they wanted to humiliate me.
Yeah. Why did they hate? So just to go do an aside a little bit. So why is it that they targeted you and hated you so much?
You know, it didn't really start until I started covering politics on Twitch. Like, I got really involved around the time that Governor Abbott in Texas decided to have the parents of transgender youth investigated by Child Protective Services. And I just started covering all the other anti-trans bills, and I was getting into fights with like conservative pundits. And it really pissed them off. They really didn't like that. I
have a similar story. I know about that. The minute I started talking about politics, we started getting like insane amounts of hate and scrutiny from the righties. Okay, continue. So they didn't like you were talking about politics. So what happened? Kind of, how did you feel that they were unhappy? How did that first start manifesting like a harassment?
I think it's because like right now it's like we're in a culture war basically against trans people. Trans people are at the epicenter of this. And there's a lot of people right now convinced that if you support trans youth, you're a pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
And so they started this entire smear campaign to try and convince everyone I'm a pedophile and everything I'm doing is to support pedophilia.
I don't think that makes you a pedophile. But I definitely think that we don't have enough science to say that it's safe for young children to be doing that. I think that we should just reserve it for people that are 18 and up. Sadly, the people that do know when they're young, that does suck for them to some degree. And I can understand why that could be so frustrating and why that could potentially add more stress to your situation already. But I think we need to do some like actual clinical trials with closed studies with kids that think they are trans first and get the data out on it. It'll take quite a few years, but I think that's better than not having the information overall, rather than just allowing, a mass number of people to do this without the supervision of doctors and science, and without recording the data and evidence that we could gather along that road.
And any of
It at least makes you responsible, for sure.
the kids that I've supported in their transition are my grooming victims. It's been really fucked up, especially because I'm someone who came out when I was a minor. I understand what it's like to be in that position.
Yeah, they've been accusing you of being a pedophile and a groomer. Actually, what's kind of crazy is we've seen people echoing that a lot. Even when we said we'd have you on, some of our own fans were saying, "Don't have her on. She's a groomer." So, what would you say to them, kind of, now that you have the opportunity to explain that accusation that they level against you?
I think the problem with it is people are using that word in two different ways. Like people have taken the word groomer, which means someone who is manipulating children into doing sex acts,
Mm-hmm.
and then they've made that word mean someone who supports trans people. But if you don't know the difference, it means the same thing, right?
I mean, I think most people think of groomer as
I mean, she kind of touched on what it means in the first definition she gave. I don't think anyone thinks that it's someone who supports trans people. I think the worry is one adult who had a positive anecdotal experience, pushing their personal lived experience on them, not based on science, and, promoting something in a way that makes, that they can relate to be able to push them in somewhat of a manipulative way down a road that potentially requires more observation and data. Really comes down to the data on this one.
someone who's preparing to. I think that's the common usage. And I think that's what they're saying about you.
Yeah, it's really frustrating because
What are they saying? What are they basing it off of? Why are they saying that?
Are they saying it? There literally is no basis for saying it.
So let's see.
They think because, yeah.
They claim that you had a Discord server with minors discussing sexual stuff.
I never had a Discord server where I discussed sexual stuff with minors.
And then they also say.
So she's not lying when she said, I've never had a Discord server where I've discussed sexual stuff. I know there was one thing with like some weird Discord server where there were supposedly minors in it. There's not enough proof to know that she specifically talked to them. I know someone was talking to a minor within the server, but just because someone's doing something wrong in a server that you are involved in, some of these servers have thousands of members, and you can't possibly know what everyone's doing in the servers at all times, especially if it's in private messages. So I don't think we could potentially hold Keffals responsible for anything like that, but she needs to at least clarify that she at least was in the server, because when you say something like that and then someone later comes and says, hey, but you were in the server where this happened, it makes it look like she's doing these small little white lies, and then all of a sudden everything starts to look like a lie and everything else starts to fall apart around you. And it just doesn't look good. It's not a good look.
I guess one of their problems is that you were supporting young people, young trans people who didn't have access to hormones. You were telling them how to make homemade hormones.
Oh my God. I don't know how to make homemade hormones. I know it's the new thing. Dude, they're saying that I'm teaching people how to make hormones in their
Ethan is so much, bro. He is so extra. Dude, I can't even fucking watch this, man. It's like watching a chihuahua that can speak. He's just completely gone. He blinks one eye at a time. It's just wild to me. Like, man, pay attention. Sit still. Look at your wife. I know you looked to her for almost everything, but like, follow her example, brother. If you can understand this. Shit.
Bathtub, which just sounds insane.
That sounds difficult.
The world's against you. But things are worse now than they were then. Like back then, no one knew what a trans person was. Now it's like everyone does. And in one way, that visibility is great. But in the other way, it means more people who are bigoted towards you can express that.
So when did you transition? At what age?
I was 16.
And so the people that you're kind of advocating for or talking with, these are people who are like not finding support within their families and their communities, and kind of someone who doesn't have someone to lean on, to talk to get additional resources from. Is this the kind of thing that you're doing with them?
I mean, some of them do actually have the support of their families, but some of them don't. Like some of them are in like really fundamentalist Christian households, and the only place they really feel safe talking about being trans is on the internet.
And so where do you guys do this? Is it like a Discord or something, or like a community?
I was like a Twitch stream.
Oh, just on Twitch?
Yeah.
So it's all just out in the public?
Yeah.
Because they make it sound like you have some kind of secret or some community spot that's not publicly seen where you're talking with kids and stuff, but that's not even.
I'm pretty sure she has a website. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure she does have a website. I don't know if it'll be on her Twitter. Let's see if it's on here. I'm pretty sure she does have a website, though. Yeah. Bro. I know this isn't like hers itself, but she's definitely pushing this stuff. I don't know why she would just say it's only on Twitch. Whatever. I mean, it's not too much of a big deal. It's just like, I feel like she's overwhelmed or something. I don't even know. She's just, feels like he's throwing really simple questions her way, and she's almost like pseudo condemning herself and not really be pushing for these points as fully as she, claims to be. I don't know. Strange.
In the case.
No.
Wow, that's interesting. They really are just straight up lying, huh? Shouldn't surprise me that much, but yeah.
These people are the type of people who harass people to the point where they unalive themselves. Right. They try not to take what they say with a grain of salt. Oh, I don't know the expression, you know what I mean?
So do you think that was their goal with you? Probably
honestly,
like
yeah. Because I see them talk about other trans people, and the first thing is they don't want trans people to even exist. Like you look through the kind of stuff they say, and they're advocating for a higher unaliving rate for trans people, like unironically.
Which is already like super high, right? I mean, the percentage of trans people that attempt to unalive themselves is like insanely high, right? It's like 1 out of 3.
I actually don't know what the recent statistic was. The one thing that I always thought was kind of funny, well, not funny, sad actually, there was that old statistic, like 41% suicide attempt rates. And from what I remember, it was actually like a trans youth suicide attempt rate. But the more supports that they had, like supportive families or access to medical care, that rate dropped significantly.
Yeah, I think that's so important to understand about what trans people go through. I saw that too, that when they have supported their family or friends, or even, I think the study even said, if they just have one person in their life, family, friend, whoever, that they can talk to about it.
I swear, Ethan he just says the same thing back. I really think he hasn't looked into any of this. I mean, maybe he has, but that's just maybe it's the one eye blinking at a time thing that really makes it really sells that. But it really sells it so hard that he just, yeah, exactly. Trans people, I hear if they have the support. Bro, come on. And it's funny because he sounds like he's talking normal now that I have it 2 times. And I can only imagine how slow it actually is. We slow it. Let's slow it down for a second. It's going to be fucking painful, but
the rate of unaliving goes down significantly.
I can imagine even just a Twitch streamer to watch and talk about it.
I can't do it.
Probably really significant.
Right. It says the data I have says 82% of trans individuals have considered unaliving themselves.
That doesn't surprise me.
As of this year, 40% have attempted to unalive. I mean, that's just so horrible that our society is so fucked up like that. Yeah. Well, so let's get back to the timeline.
Oh, of course.
So you went back to your house. You got your stuff back. You got the apology from the police, which is nice. So what happens from that point?
That was the point where I decided that I didn't feel safe in my house. So I decided to move to a hotel room.
Yeah, so you went to the hotel room, you posted a picture of your cat. They somehow figured that out. I mean, these people, they're fucked up, but they have this freakish talent. They're like insanely good at doxing people. I mean, it's almost like...
You're giving them too much credit. I live in a small city and there's like 5 hotels and only one of them had like that specific spread of bedsheet.
Wasn't there another one though where you posted like a picture of your lunch and then they figured out...
Oh, okay, so what happened? So like after what happened in that hotel room, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be sneaky. They're not gonna find me this time. So I said I was gonna stay in some Airbnbs until I found a new apartment. And I decided instead to go to a different hotel and start streaming with a green screen. And what ended up happening was, I think it was after a week, my Uber account got hacked.
Mm.
And my mom's Uber account got hacked, and my brother's Uber account got hacked. And we all got the same message, like this automated voice telling us that we got doxxed, all of our information was posted online because someone has it out for us, and that it's not a threat, but that we should be careful.
That came through the app?
It was like, like one of those, I don't know the name for the type of voice.
It's like the
AI voice.
That came through the app. I can't even blink one eye. Like he literally does it like a dog, where they just blink one eye, so not even moving the rest of their face. He can like do it while he talks, and it's just so it's so distracting, bro. I can't even handle it. Like, what the fuck, dude? Are you even human anymore? He looks like a fucking alien from Men in Black. That his just human suit just not properly functioning anymore. It's getting way too much to handle.
Yeah, but where did it come from? What app did it come from on your phone?
Oh no, it was just a regular call because they got our phone numbers when they hacked our Uber accounts.
Oh, they gave you a
called
call?
guys and played it?
Yeah, that's how they were able to get our addresses, because they had the entire order history on all of those accounts.
Wow.
Damn, that's so nuts, man. So
Yeah.
you go into one hotel, they find out where you are, and then what happens there? You go to another hotel?
Yeah, I went to that hotel. My Uber gets hacked, and at that point, I'm just like, okay, I was really upset because it's like my family is collateral in harassing me at this point. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay with my friend in Northern Ireland. So I get on a plane, I go to Northern Ireland, and I do a stream there. And within a day, they figure out where we're staying here as well.
How'd they do
Pizza
that?
starts showing up at the door.
That's insane.
So our best guess, because there was no way that they could have figured out the unit number. They said it was because of the door handles, but it doesn't make sense. And we think that my host, one of her accounts got hacked
Oh my
that had
God.
her address.
These people are so nuts.
Oh yeah,
Dedicated, man.
I can only imagine that will really drive a person crazy. Like the amount of harassment.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah. At that point, I started the campaign because I wanted to get Cloudflare to drop Kiwi Farms. I didn't know what to do, because if the site kept going, that was just going to be my life.
Yeah.
Like you're a really big content creator, Ethan. You got like millions of subscribers, but your thread was like 500 pages. Mine is like 2,200 pages.
Okay,
Oh
that's
my
what I was
God.
wondering. So 2,200. Holy fuck.
Yeah,
bro.
no, they fucking hate me. Wait, can I swear on here?
Yeah,
you
it's
can,
okay.
you can say that.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you go to Ireland, Northern Ireland. They dox you again. Is that when you start this campaign where you're like, well, I'm just going to go to war with this website?
Yeah.
And so you
like-
basically, why did you target, first of all, Cloudflare?
There were multiple companies that I wanted to target. Cloudflare was the one that I chose first because it was the biggest one. And I knew that in the past, Cloudflare had dropped other hate sites like the Daily Stormer and 8chan. So I thought there would be a pretty good chance that they would also drop Kiwi Farms.
So when you starting that campaign, that must have really fucking, if they hated you then, you're threatening their whole existence right on the internet, their whole safe place to try to make people unalive themselves.
Yeah.
So it must have intensified. Did you experience it, like intense harassment during that time? Or, I mean, was there nothing more they could do?
Yeah, I mean, like someone even came to the apartment in Ireland, and they took a photo outside the apartment with a note calling me a transphobic slur, telling me to get out of their community. And then they had a whole bunch of Kiwi Farms nerd shit on the letter that's like indecipherable to anyone who goes outside.
Well, so I was following this. You were actually getting a lot of momentum here to get this website taken down by Cloudflare. And eventually the owner of Cloudflare put out a statement. He said, we're not going to do anything. We had taken down the Daily Stormer, which was like a white supremacist website in the past, and he regretted it because he doesn't want to be the arbiter of like what websites stay and what websites go. But it turned out only like a day or two later, he did take it offline. What happened in between those two time periods?
What he said, because when it went offline, there was a big block screen that said, this website presents an imminent and emergency threat to human life and has been blocked by Cloudflare security services.
Wow.
And he put out a big statement that was basically stating in the last 48 hours, the threats had intensified to the point where multiple law enforcement services had to get involved, and they weren't able to keep up with how many threats were happening. Like, they made 2 different bomb threats against me, and I'm in Northern Ireland. Like, now, the history here
Not a good place to
is
make
just
bomb
like,
threats,
yeah, not the place.
Yeah, I saw actually. It's pretty incredible. It was almost like they undid themselves to your end, because I saw a lot of stuff on Kiwi Farms of them just making straight up death threats against you, like credible death threats with your address. And I think at that point the owner was like, okay, now I have a reason at least to stop supporting them. And kind of interesting that they got themselves shut down in a way and achieved your goal for you.
I think it was a few things. The site has kind of been in relative obscurity for the majority of the time that it's existed, and they got pretty emboldened over the years. Like, they didn't get shut down over what happened with the Christchurch massacre or the multiple people unaliving themselves or any of the crazy shit that they got involved in. But not only that, even though it took a whole bunch of horrible stuff happening to someone who already had like a pretty visible presence online, people have been trying to get the site offline for like a decade. So there was so much backing when I started this.
So true. It's such a win for the world. I mean, these people are just demons, man. They're just harassing everybody to no end. I want to give you an opportunity to talk about this because there's people who are pointing this out that on your website, keffals.gg, you have a link here that says do it DIYHRT.
Yeah. So it's a website where people can learn about DIY hormones. Basically, if you're in a situation.
I can't believe he brought that up after what he brought up earlier. It feels like he's trying to like help her, but like not help her. Like, I know he isn't purposely doing it, but it seems like he's trying to like throw her under the bus from like reading whatever Reddit threads he could possibly find, and then from there, like, or from chat or something. But bro, you're not helping at this point. Like, you're almost doing some harm here to your own guest on your own show. But I know you're lost as fuck, so I can't really be mad at you.
You live in a state where there's no healthcare provider, and you're forced to do that yourself. Like find it like at a pharmacy in a different country. It's a resource that's available.
So when it says do it yourself, what does that mean though? You're not there. That almost implies you're making the hormones.
No, you don't make the hormones.
Okay, so I think it's just a misnomer there.
Yeah, no. When it's do it yourself, it's like you have to get the prescription yourself because there's no doctor available.
That makes sense. So
yeah,
I think
the reason that it's offered, because I feel like people really misunderstand the point. It's a last resort sort of thing. You should absolutely see a doctor if you can, but for a lot of people, they can't see a doctor.
That makes sense. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, there's no homemade hormones happening here. There it is.
Yeah, I've seen an endocrinologist the last 11 years. If you have access, absolutely do it. It's the better route.
Right, but if you don't, doing something drastic like this is going to improve your mental health and possibly save your life, right?
Of course, and it's like if you're diabetic and there's no price cap on insulin in the United States, so a lot of people really struggle to afford it. I feel like people wouldn't really have that much outrage if Americans are crossing the border to get Canadian insulin because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
But if we consider like transgender healthcare as healthcare, I don't see what the big problem actually is.
I don't have a problem with it, but I think I think it's great what you're doing is helping people in need and potentially saving lives. I think it's just the psychos that think that like you decided to be trans just because you want to be different or something. The theory I don't even fucking get.
Oh no, being trans has made my life significantly harder.
Yeah, I don't think that's like something that people seek out to live out. But so we got them dropped from Cloudflare. But that's what's significant about that? Can't they just go to another hosting?
Okay, so they didn't get dropped from their host. I think they changed host recently. But what
So, she says things like that, becoming trans has made my life significantly harder. If she's referencing it to the Kiwi Farm stuff, I would understand that. But if she just means like in general, it's made it harder. I know that things being difficult doesn't mean it's always bad, but it's a weird way to put it. And I wonder what she means by that. Tell me what you guys think she means by that down in the comments below.
happened? They got dropped from Cloudflare, and they got the site back up immediately under a Russian domain and with a Russian DDoS protection service. And then they got dropped in less than 24 hours, and the site was offline again.
Wow.
Any idea why the Russians dropped them? That's interesting that they even cared.
Oh, they put out a statement. They said that Kiwi Farms broke their acceptable use policy.
Wow.
I think it's because maybe these companies aren't used to a pressure campaign to drop a website like this. Like I'm sure they're getting like hundreds of emails to drop this website.
Right, and they're just like, well, fuck it, I don't care about them.
Yeah, like what are we making from this that's worth this?
Right.
Wow, that's super interesting. But so Cloudflare, as I know, it's a DDoS, right? So there's probably people who are continuously trying to take Kiwi Farms offline by DDoSing them, which is when you overwhelm a site with requests, making it basically inaccessible. And so Cloudflare is a service that prevents DDoSing. So when you get dropped from that and you get dropped from the Russian counterpart, they basically are unable to go back up online, right? And that's where we are now.
Yeah, they found another one, but it's really unreliable. And basically since that, the site has just been intermittently online. Apparently Joshua Moon was really plugging his cryptocurrency accounts in Telegram today. He's banned from like PayPal and Visa and MasterCard, so it's all he has.
Wait, when did he get banned from all that stuff? Was that a recent development?
I think that was during the Christchurch stuff.
Okay, so this guy's he's a well-known piece of shit.
Yeah, when the site when they got dropped from Cloudflare and then DDoS Guard, he put out a statement saying that he thinks that the future of the site is going to be like what happened to either the Daily Stormer or 8chan, where what happened with the Daily Stormers, they continuously get dropped and they're held together with twine and duct tape, jumping host to host and domain to domain to keep online, or 8chan, where they had to go off the clear net entirely. But the problem with doing that and going on the dark net is you can't reliably protect yourself from DDoS attacks. And I don't encourage illegal behavior, but Joshua Moon is a piece of shit and he's made a lot of really bad enemies over the years.
Right.
Yeah, I don't feel too bad for him. It's his website getting DDoS there. I'm not shedding any tears about that. So what do you think? You think the website's off for good now? I mean, if the website was kiwifarms.net, right? Kiwifarms.net, and right now it's off, just completely offline. There's nothing there.
You know, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that it doesn't really look good for the future. There's no big companies that are reliable that are willing to support them.
Yeah.
And even though I ended the campaign I started, I ended after 6 days after DDoS Guard dropped them. But that didn't stop the people trying to pressure the other companies that have picked up Kiwi Farms. So I'm seeing people.
Dude, I'm like watching Ethan and like I can't sit still now. Like my hands, I'm like he's making me anxious because he's just so zoomed out of his mind. This man's in outer space. He's a space cadet. He's like so far gone. He looks just so high right now. Just the way he's moving reminds me of that person at the bar that's drank too much and is now using coke to bring themselves back down to the regular world. And then afterward, instead of them being back in the regular world, they're just weird as fuck. This is where he's at right now. It's making me rub my hands together. He's too much sometimes to watch.
People going at it all day.
That's good. I think it's a valiant fight, man. Those people are. I mean, how does a website even exist? Just like dedicated to hating everyone and everything to the nth level, where it's like we don't just hate this person, we actively trying to fucking ruin their life.
People unalive themselves already.
Yeah.
And citing that website as a cause, like how is it still going?
They love it, man.
I think it's just because they don't have anything good in their lives, you know? Like they want to knock other people down so they feel better about themselves.
Just like textbook bullying, but all the worst people in the world found a home in a website like this.
Are you feeling, has your life kind of become a little bit more calm since this happened, or not really?
like honestly, like after they got dropped from the second DDoS protection, I felt like a huge weight dropped off my shoulders because at this point they're basically just trying to keep themselves online. And Joshua Moon put out a statement saying, "Ignore the Twitter people. Stop trying to troll them. Your statements are getting us dropped from hosts."
That's awesome.
Yeah, they locked all of the threads for all of the organizers of the Drop Kiwi Farms campaign because we were posting the shit they were saying about us on Twitter and making people more mad.
Yeah. So basically, has the harassment stopped? Are you still? I mean, you've won. Are they? I mean, surely they're angry, but I wonder, since they've lost a central place to congregate, if the harassment has eased.
Honestly, I'm still getting harassed, and I want to go back to what my life was like before this, when I just reacted to politics on Twitch, and I feel like that's probably never going to go away. But I can accept that as long as they're not trying to figure out where I live and post it online and send SWAT teams to my house and harass my family.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Well, it was a good fight, honestly. I mean, even whatever you achieved, what many thought was impossible, and I think I'm glad that website's gone. Fuck them, bro. That a lot of people are glad that website's down. So
it's wild to say, but you're saving lives.
So
yeah. I don't think that's hyperbole.
Yeah.
Thanks. I had a lot of people reach out to me over this who were getting targeted by this site just to thank me for it. And it just meant a lot because they went after so many fucking people over the years.
I think a lot of people probably are even scared to speak publicly about it because then you make yourself a target. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that was actually a thing. Like a lot of the journalists that I started speaking to about it were told that they shouldn't talk about it because there could be a Streisand effect and then the site gets more popular. And I'm so glad they were wrong.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, what's your plan now? Are you back to streaming from your new wherever you are right now?
Right now, I'm just like trying to settle down now that the dust is settling. I want to get back to streaming when I can. It's looking good. I'm actually, for the first time in over a month, optimistic about things.
That's great. Well, I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm happy you have a place. You're feeling relatively safe, hopefully. And I think you should get back to streaming as soon as you can. And Keffals on Twitch is where people can find you. And you discuss politics and all kinds of things. And fuck Kiwi Farms forever.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your service. A soldier. You're a soldier. In the online culture war. You're in the front lines. You're in the trenches. Taking grenades. Oh, you know what we could do? You know what we could do together since we're here? Should we have a Pride Minute together? Just, I don't know if you know about our Pride Minutes, Keffals.
I don't know what's the Pride Minute.
Yeah, so Jordan Peterson was like, what's with Pride Month? It's too long. Pride Day, more
Pride
like
month.
it. Yeah, so we said, you know what, Jordan? A day is too much. Let's shorten it. A Pride Minute. So we like to celebrate Pride for 1 minute and then quickly encourage people to get back in the closet afterwards. So would you like to celebrate a Pride Minute with us in your honor?
Okay, absolutely.
All right, go ahead.
What the fuck is this?
During this Pride Minute, we like to encourage everybody to be their true self. Nobody should be able to judge you for who you are, right, Keffals? I mean, is there anything you want to say to the LGBTQ plus people out there during Pride Minute?
Yeah, absolutely. Never let anyone push you around.
Right.
Stand up against people who are bullying you, who don't want you to be proud of who you are.
That's it.
Right.
We're so much stronger when we stick together.
Solidarity.
Why the fuck did he put the music? Man, what is wrong with him? He's so far gone, bro. He's gone. This is his brain.
It was up. Yeah, it was up for 10 years, and we all came.
That's how he sees the other people. The guests that he brings on his chat is just feel like he's just on some endless speedball trip. That's just what I imagine he actually like. This is how these things are actually going in his brain. Like that camera that you just have like right attached, like right here, and it's just moving with. You're just moving through the club and techno music. Here, we'll put it back on.
Came together and kicked its ass in a week.
Keep going.
That's even, bro. I can't even.
I'm
It's
hoping
the craziest
for a
fucking thing I've ever
future
seen.
where
He's
the
fucking
trans
gone.
community and the gay community and all of the different marginalized communities can come together and fight together and build a better future for all of us.
That is just right on. So, I'm gonna have to stop you there,
I'm not
Keffals.
gay no more.
All right.
I'm gonna have to stop you there. No more pride, okay? Back in the closet.
I am not gay.
Everyone,
Okay.
please. I invite you all to feel ashamed, and I'm sorry
Okay,
about
I'm
that.
going back.
So Pride Minute, but thank you for celebrating that Pride Minute with us. That was a fun. That was a good moment we had. And we do like a Christian minute now after Pride Minute. Oh Lord, Lord, may we smite. They says that Pakistan is flooded.
What the fuck is he doing now?
Because
This is
every
just
time a
ridiculous,
man
man.
takes a replacement hormone,
I'm not gay no more.
a child drowns.
Is there anything else that I'm gonna try to skip some of this, see if there's anything else toward the
In
end.
Pakistan.
Minute.
You
No.
have Pride Minute, then you have Christian Minute, because you have to
Okay.
balance it out. Lord, every time a man kiss another man.
Amen.
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 Come on now. Every time a woman a queen dies, amen. Queen Elizabeth, rest in peace.
Amen.
Anyway, Keffals, thank
Yeah.
you so much for calling in. It's been a pleasure.
Oh yeah, this has been great.
I'm impressed and I'm proud of what you've achieved. It's really something. It really is something. I mean, it's heroic. I got to say it. It is.
Well, let's just hope this is the start.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And
Holy shit, bro. He's gone. This man has fucking left the building. He's not in his brain. He just said, yes, sir. Holy shit. Is that worse than dead naming? Probably not. That was pretty bad, though. That was pretty fucking bad, bro. Holy shit. Yes, I mean, yes, ma'am. Holy shit. Well, let's watch it again, guys. That was fucking too much.
I got to say it. It is.
Well, let's just hope this is the start.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And so Twitch, guys, you can follow
Fuck. How do you manage that? Dude, this is your job. You've been doing this for years. Literally years. Holy shit. L3. Now I understand it. That's a huge L. Way to fuck that one up. Anyway, guys. I think if we make merch, that's got to be the first one we make. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, that's a good one. But anyway, guys, please sub to the channel, like the video, and please leave a comment down below. We're trying to grow. We've only been here a few weeks. We're getting it done. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep giving young men good advice. We have another debate coming up. Hopefully not one filled with bullshit. And it should be pretty good. And then I have another talk with Woke either on Friday or Sunday. He found something that he actually may disagree with me on. Hopefully he does. If he doesn't this time, I'll be surprised. And also call him a complicit bitch. So, but no, Woke's cool, guys. I'm just fucking around. But anyway, guys, peace out. Have a great day. I know Keffals is the good guy. I'm not saying she's the bad guy. Panel, you fucking idiot.